Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. As you can tell, I'm kind of mid eyeshadow journey here because I wanted to review the new TirTir foundation and concealer. We all know TirTir for their red cushion compact. Beautiful, love it. I have a big size, I have a travel size, so I can travel with it. This foundation went extremely popular, one because they kept extending the shade range, but because it's also just a good fucking foundation. Their skincare is beautiful, everything like that. So when I received two packages, one of their liquid foundation and one of their concealer, I hadn't seen anyone else post about it, so I was like, am I meant to talk about these? But they are now, from when I'm filming this, it's the 16th today of May. They are available on pre-order. So new concealer, new foundation, they look beautiful. So this is the concealer. I did have a concealer like this a while back. I think, was it by the Seam or the Same? I can never say the name properly. So you have one end which is like this concealer stick and the other side which is a liquid. I love this option because you pretty much have like that full coverage concealer with a stick, or you have that more like hydrating lightweight. You know what concealer I really used to love? Max Moisture Cover. And this reminds me of this. I have tried this concealer and I have tried this foundation. I'm going to wear it for you today, although I have already worn it out, and I'm going to do a wear test for you also, even though I have already done a wear test, but I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to be able to see what it looks like as well. And this is a foundation. Oh, it has a green thing in it. This is how I mark the shades that are for me when it comes in the big thing. The Mask Fit Red Foundation with a pump lid and like this frosted bottle. So I am, just a word on shades, I am 24N in the compact foundation. 24N Latte. In this foundation, I am 22N Shell Beige. So do bear in mind that you may have to go a little bit lighter. So as I mentioned, it is on pre-order. This is cute. It's so nice to see two guys in a makeup ad, you know what I mean? Like the main ad. I don't know who these people are, but there you go. And they say, red to start, red to stay. Discover TirTir's newest base duo, the iconic red foundation now reborn in a radiant liquid formula. And a multi-use glide and hide concealer designed to blur, brighten and perfect long-lasting, seamless, effortless. And when I got some deals on with a pre-order, which is really cute. I love it when people give you a keyring or a keychain with a mirror. Please give me the free keychain every time. So this is their Mask Fit Red Foundation. This is a shade range. So it's £21. So I'm guessing around $22. So what do they say about it that makes it different to the Red Fit cushion? Because that Red Fit cushion is full coverage. It's semi-matte, like it's quite matte on the skin. Bold radiance reimagined. Experience instant luminosity with a TirTir Mask Fit Red Foundation. A radiant liquid foundation inspired by the iconic red cushion with a second skin feel and satin glow. It does. This foundation delivers breathable, transfer-proof coverage that lasts up to 72 hours, now available in 30 tailored shades for flawless skin that looks good as it feels. One thing I would mention, any brand, when they say something is long-lasting for this amount of hours, it really does depend on your skin and what you do underneath, right? And then the Glide and Hide Blur and Concealer, I'll be interested to see what the two ends do. Meet the TirTir Glide and Hide Blur and Concealer. Like, I've tried it, but I've just tried it on my part of my skin, but like, yeah, that's nice. So meet the TirTir Glide and Hide Blur and Concealer, a multi-use 2-in-1 solution designed to perfect every contour with a creamy liquid tint to brighten and a silky balm to blur. Okay, so a creamy liquid tint to brighten and a silky balm to blur. Okay, so the balm is to blur, and also it is slightly different in shade actually, looking at that. How funny. 72 hours wear, featherlight wear, buildable seamless finish, natural, 20 inclusive shades, and multi-use application. Okay, so let's give it a go. I'm gonna show you the foundation before. This is such a beautiful formula. They also gave us, like in the PR package, empty cushions and to fill up with a formula, and I did. I still need to press it in the middle there, just because I like the way the flat sponges. Oh my god, my words today. I like the way cushion foundations, but I like the way the cushions in the cushion foundations apply the foundation. So I'm just going to build this up, just push that onto the skin. So this is the shade 22N Shell Beige. And I can probably go a little bit darker on camera, but in actual real life, this is my skin tone. And what I've been doing, which I've really been loving, is showing you, is what I'm doing now, is applying with a brush, but really tapping with my finger if you have time. If not, just get it on with a brush. Tapping with my finger over those areas that perhaps need a little bit more coverage. So for me, it's on my cheek, just like tapping like this, and then buffing in with that brush. This is the Ilia face brush, complexion brush. So good, such a good brush. Now, I know some people out there have tried the red cushion, and they've had some issues with it. Like they found it oxidized and stuff like that. Sometimes that can be formula, sometimes that can be just skin and oil in the skin. I personally haven't found it oxidized on me. However, I have had foundations that have oxidized on my skin, like powder foundations, for example. I tend to go a shade lighter and then let it oxidize on my skin. But this one I haven't seen anyone yet say it's oxidizing on the skin. But it's just the smoothest. Oh, I'm not zoomed in on my camera. Sorry. The way it sits, it's almost like quite satiny already. On oilier skin, my skin, I have found on my cheeks it sits really well. Where's this camera? It needs to go. So my skin is oily, and this has been sitting beautifully. I wore it on my cheeks, and then I wore the cushion on my nose and my forehead, and it sat so well. The combination of the two was stunning. I don't think you necessarily need to. I just did that because I had the two. I just love the way it feels doing that on the skin, pushing it in. So if you do like to go a little bit darker, if you're similar to me, you can go for the 23N sand. This one is like borderline a little bit too light for me, but when it is actually blended into my skin and pushed into my skin, it sits really well. It just like neutralizes the redness and everything looks great. I'm just gonna build that up a little bit more in the areas where I feel I need a bit more coverage. So on the cheeks here, I'm just bouncing my finger off. I think when you are watching this, I will be in, or would have already been to South Korea with TirTir. They very kindly invited me to go to their first store opening, or one of their biggest store openings in South Korea. However, please don't let that think it sways my opinion on their products. I have literally spoken and been in the same room with Selena Gomez, and I still give honest reviews about Rare Beauty. It's not going to sway me either way, my relationship with the brand. Okay, so it already has this really nice satiny finish. Like, it's not too overly glowy, it's not too like overly matte or anything like that. Okay, so there's quite a few shades in the concealer. With concealer, I don't necessarily choose a shade that is exactly my skin color. I just go for one that I know is going to neutralize or brighten under my eyes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the shade 65N, and I'm going to use the balm side first, and I'm going to use that under my eyes, just because you'll see it's slightly orangey on my skin, but I want it to warm up those under eyes without using like a color corrector, like an orange color corrector, because this already has that orangey caramel. Is it called caramel? Like caramel tone on my eyes. So then I don't have to go in with a full, orange color corrector and then work to blend that in and then work to make sure that it's being covered up completely. So with just a little bit of that concealer that's already, on my skin a little bit orangey, it's going to help to neutralize that under eye. And that sits beautifully. You can hardly, apart from the color, it doesn't look like formula texture on my skin, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go in with quite the jump, 1.5W. No, actually, let's change it up a little bit. No, let's go with 3, yeah, let's go for 3W, and I'm going to use the side that's more like that fluid. And I'm going to use just the smallest amount, just a dot here, a dot here. I'm going to use quite a bit there because I'm going to shape up my eyeshadow with it as well. Whoops. And just with an eyeshadow blending brush, I'm just going to tap into those areas here. And just underneath this, just so you know what I'm wearing the Milky Toner from TirTir. And what was my moisturizer? Oh yeah, this from Red Chamber, which is like a makeup primer. Again, I'll link it down below so you can see the products itself. I just love this formula. That liquid concealer formula, I'm just such a huge fan of. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like a heavy, thick cream when necessary. But a lot of the time, it's like, just not necessary, you know? Oh, okay, I just completely fucked up my eyeshadow. I had a bit of a moment there. Okay, so this is the concealer and the foundation on. Okay, so this is the concealer and foundation on. I could even go a little bit brighter under the eye. Actually, I think no, let me finish up the eyeshadow. I'm gonna leave this on for another good 3 hours because I'm filming some other videos too. And then I will let you know how it's sitting, and of course I'm going to include another wear test in this also. Okay, so we are a good about 2 hours 45 minutes ish later. My skin is looking fine. There, I have a highlighter on here. I have a blush that's like a serum-y blush, and I have done some powder. I haven't done powder in the middle of the nose, so this is probably more of an accurate representation of the foundation with no powder on and how it will sit on the skin. On the forehead, also no powder. That's just the foundation. I love it. If I was going to powder this, it would sit stunningly, or use like a mattifying primer. I like to use like the One Size Matte Spray as my primer, for example. But on the wear test day, which I will add in for you in just a moment, I will not use anything other than just the foundation. So you can see how it is hours down the line. It does, from my experience with this, it does get a bit shiny, but it doesn't, my makeup doesn't separate. I'll show you exactly what I mean here in this wear test. I'll put that in now for you. Okay, okay, so I am doing some filming today for my reaction channel. I'm also going to be doing some editing and stuff like that. It is kind of a hot day today. I've done very basic skincare, like a serum and skincare I would do, cleanse my face, toner, serum. That's all I do when I'm doing a wear test. I'm actually just gonna blot my skin properly, so I'm just tearing the ply off a tissue and I'm taking a very thin part. Oh, my fan's too loud, right? And then I'm just gonna blot away any excess skincare. This has been sitting on my face for like an hour in the areas where I get super, super oily, as I always do. Okay, so I'm using a different shade today. I'm using the shade 23N Sand. Is that the shade I used? I think I went one lighter. And I'm gonna do a nice thin layer. I might use I'm gonna use the same method I did before. I'm gonna take a little bit of a foundation onto the skin and then just tap with my finger, just so I'm really pushing it into the redness areas. Long foundations that claim to be long wearing tend to get like this. I haven't experienced it with this one, but they tend to get like this waxy finish sometimes on the skin. And what you really want to do is like push them into the skin like this, so they're not just sitting on top of the skin, they're actually being part of the skin. I have quite a few blemishes down here. And I'm not saying this is the way you have to apply it, because I know some people get really mad when I take time to do my base, which I think you should do anyway. This is just how I'm applying it today. You can just whack it on the face if you want to. I know a lot of us sometimes don't have time. You see just that tiny bit of evenness really does go a long way. I'm going to build up a little bit more. This is just going to be my base coat. Now this is like a satin, like a natural satin finish foundation. So what I would usually do is perhaps prep my nose and my forehead and maybe this area here with like a mattifying primer, or I would use the One Size mattifying spray as my primer. But because we're doing a wear test of this formula, I just want to see how it sits, as I do with all my wear tests, on oily skin without any help. Just so you get an idea, because not everyone has, you know, the same primers or the same skincare and all this kind of stuff. Beautiful foundation though. It goes on so, it just glides on the skin. It's so stunning. Okay, then I'm just going to add a little bit more on my cheeks, because that's where I need just a bit more coverage. Not too much, we're not going crazy. We're going to add a bit of concealer too under the eye, see how that sits. Okay, I just covered a blemish there with a little bit of foundation, and I'm just going to let that kind of warm to the skin. And then I'm going to take the more liquidy part of the concealer under the eyes, just because I don't tend to like to use heavy concealers on my under eye area. So I'm going to use the other side, like the lipsticky side, more as a coverage concealer for blemishes. And then let's use the stick side in these areas where I want perhaps a little bit more coverage. It's very smooth. That went on beautifully smooth. And I'm actually going to use the same brush we did for the foundation the first time around. Okay, so no powder, no primer, nothing like that. We're just letting it do and be. We're not even using blush. This is just a foundation. This is just a foundation wear test. This is how it looks on the face right now. I am going to refer to this camera throughout the day so you can see it in comparison to this, but I will also be showing you the more natural lighting as well on my phone. But yes, this is just so you can get a good comparison. So this is, what's the time? 10:49 a.m. So you can see it does have, this is the finish of the foundation. It is quite satiny. I would powder that, and like I said, use a mattifying primer, but this is it on the skin. I like it. It's very, very smooth. I really do like this foundation. Let's see how it wears. I do kind of know because I've worn it already. I've actually worn it lighter than this. I have put a little bit more on than usual just because I feel like this is how people would wear it. Yeah. So this is about 1.5 hours later. I don't know why I didn't record any audio with this. Still looking great, acceptable to me. I will probably powder up a little bit now, but it still looks incredible. Okay, just giving you a talking update. This is my face a good, God, what are we now? 4 hours later. I'm very, very shiny. Let me just step out of, I'm directly under a window. Very shiny. This isn't oily though. Look, like it's not like coming off my finger. It's sitting more like a satin shine. If I was to powder my nose right now, powder this area, I would still be very, very pleased with how this is sitting on the skin. I think it's really, really beautiful. Let me powder it and just show you how this looks because it's really nice. Okay, and this is it with a bit of powder on. I haven't done too much. I haven't like completely mattified. I just wanted to take off what looks really shiny. I don't mind a bit of glow to my skin. And it still has a glow, but it doesn't look like my oil has broken through. I am a little bit red here because I realized I was like scratching my nose as I was filming some videos. So I have kind of removed it there. But I'm really, really happy with the finish of this. Okay, so that is my overall experience with this foundation. I really, really like it. My one tip would be to go a shade lighter than what you are in the foundation, the TirTir Compact, the red one. Let me know if you'll be trying this foundation down below and a concealer. Thank you so much for joining me. Consider subscribing and I will see you very soon. Bye.